Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Mariam Ashkin binti Mariam Suhaimi. Now let's see the issue of this case. Okay, the issue is whether the plaintiff can get the division of matrimonial property from the defendants as instructed or not. Okay, now let's see the meaning of movable and immovable property. Alright, first is movable property. Movable property is referred to personal property, which is the movable assets such as vehicles or computer. In other words, movable property is a property that you own and can take with you, which does not include house, apartment, or land. While the meaning of immovable property is property that it is firmly fixed to the ground. In the sense used, commonly refers to real estate such as house, factory, or land. In this case, the movable property that was claimed by the plaintiff is kancil car, and the amount is 5,000 ringgit. And for the immovable property that was claimed by the plaintiff is the house in Taman Desa Serdang, Selangor, which the amount is around 250,000 ringgit.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Fatih Atikah Lena binti Abdullah, matric number 1191849. So, I will continue about the enforcement of movable property. Okay, so for the movable property, the enforcement that we will use in this case is enforcement of judgment for delivery of movable property as stated in the section 150 subsection 1A in the enactment Syariah Court Civil Procedure in Selangor. Or we also may proceed with the judgment for debtor summon based on section 176 in the enactment Syariah Court Civil Procedure in Selangor. Other than that, we also can use an order for judgment to be paid by installment based on section 178 subsection 3. And the last option to be taken, if the defendant still refuse to submit the division of property, we can use section 179 in the enactment of Syariah Court Civil Procedure Selangor, which is the court may make an order to arrest the debtor summon and be brought to be examined in the court. That's all from me, and the details will be presented by Farah Ismayani.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Nafara Ismayani binti Muhammad Rosmawi. My matric number 1191612. Inshallah, I will proceed to the execution of movable property. Okay, so the first procedure is the judgment creditor need to apply for an application of enforcement of judgment for delivery of movable property as written in section 150 clause 1 clause A in enactment tata cara mal Mahkamah Syariah Selangor. So the application for delivery order shall be made by submitting the execution order through the form of MS-23 and shall be supported by affidavit. Next, according to section 176 of enactment tata cara mal Mahkamah Syariah Selangor, when the form of 33 has been submitted to the registrar and the court order has been obtained, the plaintiff or judgment creditor shall make an application to request the presence of the judgment debtor to appear in the court by way of filling of form of MS-42 supported by affidavit. After that, when the court accepts the application, the court shall issue the judgment debtor summon in the form of MS 43 as stated in Section 177 of Enactment Tata Cara Mal Mahkamah Syariah Selangor. Therefore, if the judgment debtor still fails to make any payment as directed under Section 178 of Enactment Tata Cara Mal Mahkamah Syariah Selangor, the judgment creditor shall request the judgment debtor to appear again in court by notice of judgment to show his reason why he should not be committed to prison for his defaults, and the application must be made through the form of MS 44 supported by affidavit which is regarding to Section 179 of Enactment Tata Cara Mal Mahkamah Syariah Selangor. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Ain Johar. My matric number is 1192698. I will proceed for the enforcement. So as a plaintiff lawyer, we will using enforcement for possession immovable property under Section 149 according to Sharia Court Civil Procedure of Selangor 2003. Then, through an application for judgment of debtor summon under Section 176 ETC-MMS. So, other than that, we can use through an application for order for judgment to be paid by installment according to Section 178 Clause 3. Under Sharia Court Civil Procedure of Selangor 2003, and the last option to be taken if defendants still refuse to submit the division of property, we can use Section 179 under ETC-MMS so that the defendant can be arrested. I will pass to my group member to explain more details.
Next, the execution of immovable property. The procedure that can be taken first under Section 154 of Sharia Court Civil Procedure of Selangor state that an order delivery for immovable property to get the property given or the assessed value by present an order in form MS 35. Second, according to Section 176, plaintiff need to apply for debtor summon in MS 42 supported by affidavit and submit it to the court. Third, court need to issue of a judgment debtor summon if the court accept the submission of debtor summon in form of MS 43 based on Section 177. Lastly, based on Section 178(2), if the judgment debtor is not present on the day appointed for the hearing of the summon, the court may make an order to arrest the debtor summon and be brought to the court to be examined. That's all from us. Thank you.